Found myself in Texas recently, and as happens in America, I found myself handed three unfamiliar guns, doing what came naturally to me. I asked no questions, and I set out to prove myself and defend the honor of my adopted home. In order to even the playing field and protect the egos of local shooters, this match was themed to foreshadow my arrival. To not warn the locals would have been unfair. All the stages today draw on real-life events that Florida men navigate. Hence, it's a lot of the themed yelling you'll hear. This first stage is all shotgun, starting with static targets, a star, and flying clays. Challenge the shooter to be accurate or end up facing a standing reload. And despite me never practicing with shotgun anymore, this actually goes really well for me, and I'm super happy. What goes wrong at the end of the stage is that I'm using a gun zeroed for slugs that aren't the slugs I'm shooting. I'm borrowing guns and I'm borrowing the ammo. For any listeners that aren't aware, shotgun slugs have more point of impact deviation between different brands and different loadings than any other platform or practical shooting setting by a huge margin. The shift can be extreme both in the X and the Y axis. Within 100 yards can be measured more than a foot sometimes, easily more than a foot. And despite a good shooting position, I end up missing the 75-ish yard slug targets on this stage. Otherwise, good run. Stage 3 uses all three guns. All start empty, and the stage mandates traveling to multiple corners of the stage multiple times. My shotgun was a little slow, a little sloppy, but what really ends up killing me on this stage is long-range handgun. First time using the gun, and I find out later from on the clock shooting, this gun shoots high, and on this stage, I'm really only to get lucky on one of my long-range hits. I think it's something like 70, 50, more than 50 yards, less than 100 yards. Long-range handgun challenges the shooter to know their equipment and to know their point of aim and their point of impact with that aim or that hold that they use. I just end up throwing a few rounds and calling it.
Far. I do not know where these are hitting.
No call. You're hitting the rubber, but I can't tell you where.
Hit. Oh.
All right.
All right. Mama says I can shoot the tax man.
Shooter indicates ready.
Stage 4 is a three-gun stage again, using all three firearms, but does not have any required loading for the shotgun, which I like. I forgot to mention that I'm shooting open division because I'm borrowing gear, and I'm just grateful to have whatever Texas can spare. Anyways, forward advancing handgun, one array of shotgun, and then some rifle off of a prop. It goes well. I think one of the rifle targets break as I'm engaging it, and I ended up throwing some rounds to compensate. That's it, though.
Stand by.
I invest in precious metals.
Stage 5 here, I shot this one sloppy. So it involves unslinging and loading empty rifle, followed by some low port positions on the bus, followed by some tight environment engagements inside the bus with rifle and handgun. I think I threw one rifle shot just trying to go a bit too fast on the offset dot. That's on me. The handgun here is where I'm able to start diagnosing where I'm hitting. This is a Glock, and I tend to struggle with adjusting to the Glock grip angle. I know this, but I was paying close attention to my sights here. I was actually able to finally diagnose that I'm hitting quite high. It just takes me a bit to figure that out. So I suffer some misses and some penalties on this stage. Otherwise, fun times.
Greg, this thing shoots like 3 feet high, bro.
Not my gun, it's my kid's gun. Blame Trevor. 75-34. All right.
I said no court orders keeping me from my daughter. All right, I'm ready. Are you ready?
All right, stage 1 was optional rifle or handgun jungle run. I chose to shoot it with rifle for 2 reasons. 1, I already had the D60 loaded. Come on. And shooting handgun would have had a reload somewhere in between there. 2, the self-healing rubber targets they used here were pretty hard to call hits on. They were perhaps a little easier to see pistol hits on than rifle hits, and I think that generally people were getting the benefit of the doubt on their hits. So in other words, rifle shooters probably got the benefit of the doubt as long as they threw 2 at the target. That probably also applied to pistol, to be honest, but I gamed it a little. Otherwise, I think handgun would be the better gun to run this with. Do as I say, not as I do. Okay, so wrapping things up, huge thank you to Greg, who once again outfitted me and ran a really great match. And he lent me all the gear and belt gear and everything. Thank you. He and his crew run some really fun stages that are designed to kind of incubate shooters for major 3-gun matches. I think that TDSA also is a really great range to run matches in because of the ability to run stages closely together in proximity, like a bay match, that have different spaces and shapes to the shooting areas to run unique challenges in. All right, next time I'll show all y'all.